Hello and welcome to this July 15th, 2010 video version of InvestEd Central's Chart of the Day. I'm Tom Boley, InvestEd Central's Chief Market Strategist, and it's my pleasure to provide you with today's Chart of the Day. This Chart of the Day is brought to you by stockcharts.com, simply the web's best financial charts. Today we're taking a look at BP Amoco, ticker symbol BP. This is over a $100 billion basic materials company. Everybody knows a lot of the problems going on with BP and their rigs and so forth down in the Gulf of Mexico and the oil leak. That's all the fundamental problems, but clearly you can see that on the technical side of things they got a leak as well. And it's been a continually lower stock price that we've been seeing since the end of April. Stock was up at about $60 back in mid-April, fell all the way down to about $26.50 at the end of June. So more than 50% of its market cap was lost in just a little more than 2 months. It has since rebounded up to the 50-day moving average. We've been higher almost every day for the last couple of weeks, and BP has been able to regain some of those losses. But it has reached a point where it is starting to look much more bearish to me, and so let me talk about a couple of these things technically. Before we get to where it is right now, take a look technically here with this higher MACD and lower price action. That is a long-term positive divergence. What we look for is a move to test the 50-day moving average after you see that in order to reset the MACD, and that's exactly what we've gotten. Positive divergence, a reversal. Off of this reversal, you can see this was actually an island cluster reversal at the bottom. You have a gap down, you have 3 candles, and then you have a gap up. And many times those 3 candles at the bottom will mark. This is what's referred to as an island cluster. Many times that will mark a bottom and a top as well in a similar pattern. Now, as we've made our way back up, notice the black candle at the top. That's number one. That's one possible reversal sign. Also, it's not quite an island reversal, but it is an island cluster reversal. Normally in an island reversal, you'll see the one candlestick that stands well above the other two that are down below, and usually the entire candlestick is above both of these candles. That's a perfect island reversal at the top. But in this case, this is the potential for an island cluster reversal at the top, where we have 3 candles. We had this big gap up. We now have 3 candles clustered together. If we have a gap down tomorrow, it will complete the bearish pattern here. So that'll be something to look for on Thursday. Now BP has there's a lot of things going on with BP, and obviously we could have bullish announcements, bearish announcements. All we can do is go off of what we have right now based on the technicals, and that's what we're trying to do here. Off of the positive divergence, you can see the MACD has made its way almost all the way back to the center line. Generally in a downtrend, the center line can act as a pretty serious resistance area for the MACD. So you've got price action looking like it may be reversing. You've got the MACD approaching the center line, and that's not all. Obviously, on this trip to the downside, you can see the volume absolutely exploded. And even though we have had decent volume on the way back up, we have not taken out the big level, which in my opinion is the 50-day moving average. So I'd be careful to get too caught up in this near-term uptrend, because the longer-term downtrend I think takes precedence here. Also, look at the RSI. Generally, if you're in a downtrend, RSI 50 to 60 in that range tends to hold as resistance. We got all the way up to 60, rolled over, and it looks like we're just starting to turn back down. So BP could just be topping and getting ready here for more of a decline. Stochastics also would argue for that same thing. As you can see, stochastics on the most recent high as we hit the 50-day, stochastics were up near 100. Unsustainable. When you get that high, generally you need to see some sort of a pullback to at least give some temporary relief to our overbought oscillators. I hope you've enjoyed our presentation today. Be sure to check out our chart of the day every day at investedcentral.com. While you're there, sign up for our free weekly Market Pulse newsletter and have the chart of the day emailed directly to you. Happy trading.